Identify y-intercepts and applications. So first off, what is a y-intercept? Well, it's kind of like the starting point. This is how I like to kind of, in non-mathematical words, it's the starting point or the initial value. Where are we starting? And more mathematically, it's when time is 0. If you think about a coordinate plane where this is your y-axis, your y-intercept is where it crosses, where the graph crosses the y-axis. Now, in a lot of time, we're not dealing with negative things, right? We deal with positive, so just quadrant 1. So the y-intercept is where we start, whether that's positive or negative, whatever, doesn't matter, but generally we start in that point, which is why I like to refer to the y-intercept as the initial value or the starting point. Okay, let's do some examples. A new runner can run 0.5 miles without stopping, and each week added 0.15 miles to the distance. Identify the y-intercept in this situation. So the y-intercept is, okay, before we start adding miles, right, just right now, what can this runner do before we start changing anything? Well, right now this runner can do 0.5 miles. That's the starting point. So the y-intercept is 0.5. That's what I can do right now. Then we're going to alter it over time. A jar of flour starts with 8 cups of flour. Each batch of dog treats made requires ½ cup of flour. Identify the y-intercept. Okay, so if you think about this graphically, we're starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're starting with 8 cups, and then this is the batch of dog treats. Every time I make a batch, we drop down by half. Oops, that's not correct. Right, we make 1 batch, we drop down by half. Make 2 batches, drop down by half. Drop down by a half. So this is the idea, but the starting point is 8 cups. So the y-intercept would be 8. Now the y-intercept can be negative, right? So maybe your bank account starts with -$4 and then you add $6 every day. Well, then your y-intercept would be negative because you start in a negative. So make sure you're paying attention whether it's positive or negative. It could be either.